brand new game, might as well. Welcome. Yep. We kind of know all this. So we started on a small spot. This time I want to start on a big island. I see there's some nice rubies right there. So one place we could do is have our city center just touching. So look at all that wasted space we have over there. So maybe we can adjust it like that. Okay, that is the first thing. And I kind of want to view it in, I'd say, about this manner. It's not bad. Just try and get it all looking good. And first thing we're going to do is drop in houses. We need to get our population up. Man, this is kind of nervous trying to drop these houses in a really nice, neat form. So, now that we got a little bit of the houses going, population going, we're going to want to, it says we're at 100 right there, I don't see how, but we're going to want to put this little wood cutting hut not as far as we possibly can, but pretty far. I'm going to drop a few of them because we always and always will need lumber. That's the good basis. Alright, so we got 5 jobs, if you look at the top right, 5 jobs going, and our population is 3 out of 6. Imagine that, right? Look at all these things we're unlocking off the start. That's not bad. Now, of course, we definitely need some wood, so we're going to be waiting for these guys to get us a little bit of wood, so that way we can actually do something. These guys, they don't really have trees planting yet. I mean, it's slowly coming. Man, look at how fast things are going. They are going pretty good speed. Problem is once again, we just don't have no wood yet. Now, we didn't put it near where trees are. We put it in just a place that looked pretty nice and neat. And if you notice about this game, I get it, it's early access. Some of you guys are like, man, there's not much to do. And that is what this video is for. So that way you can get a little bit of a preview of what you want to see. Like, if you know what I mean, before you buy the game kind of thing. Now, this game is, I believe, $10 on stream, PC only. But it's an indie game. It's a building game. As soon as these people can get some trees going, man, look, available adult trees 6%. Oh, man. But I have 83% land I can put them on and just not put them down. So we're going to speed this up a little bit. That way they can get these trees planted and harvest it as soon as possible. And now we don't have no more way to have a shelter. Oh, and that is our first logs right there. Okay, that is good. We're already beginning to have our first logs. Now this thing is very, very sensitive. Look at how crooked it is. It's very sensitive about getting straight. So we're going to keep a little bit of a distance right there. The first thing we want to do is give our people food. Food is a great thing. Food will allow us to have more of a population as well. So there we go. Now we definitely got food. We got 13 jobs and only 7 people. So that means only half the jobs are being used currently. If we get water, then the very next thing wouldn't look so bad. So we're going to be putting water up front. Hopefully we're not building too big, too fast. That is our hopes. I want to kind of try to keep this somewhat nice and neat. Best that I can do for nice and neat. Now these people are tree people, so we don't want to build anything that is like that would hurt them, you know what I mean? That would take away their population. Look at that, they're pretty good for population, but if I build it, I gotta build it in that mindset that we do not want to challenge the trees, to say in a way. Now these guys are at 1 pop each. Once we start getting some water and all, we can definitely have 2 population easily in each one of these. So we're pretty good, but we're not that good in water and all the other things. So what we're going to want to do is put a pause on our wood building until we can get a little bit more population. Hopefully they'll work over here, which will allow me to build more houses, but it looks like they chose water. And they ain't getting the good kind of water. They get water, but they ain't good kind, and they prefer purified water. So we'll put a pause on one of these. And still, it's not happening. Our 7 population ain't going where we want. So we just gotta keep pausing things until it goes to where we want them to go. Right there, purified water, good. Now this one, it has employment. You got only 1 person out of 5, but it does have employment, so it is running, which is great. These shelters, these are our houses. We can upgrade them as time goes. If you notice on the bottom, it says our next milestone is having 10 level 1 citizens. And if you look top right, we got 7 level 1s. Oh, now we have 8. So now we're able to start getting 2 population each one of these. And that is good. 2 population, whoop whoop. We're really getting somewhere in each one of these. Now we're at 14, 16 jobs available. So we can start hitting play on some of these. What that's going to do is allow our resources to do a little better. Alrighty, I think that is all. The only thing we are seeing that we have trouble with and an issue with is that our people, I'm trying to get it as straight as possible. Cool, we got transport, but our population we just need more of. Warehouses. Well-optimized production. It's a well-optimized production chain, can be upgraded to hire a 3rd transporter. Cool. Employs 2 transporters that will collect goods in that radius. Well, that's pretty cool. They'll go out and they'll collect what we need. So what we need right now is this to have more employees. We have 1. So our jobs are at 24 and our population is at 18. We're not doing what we need to for it. We're also maxing on how much these people can hold, because we have no transportation, we have nowhere to store any of it. We want to stay at a good spot. You notice how as soon as it goes down, it goes right back up. Well, we wouldn't mind stacking up a little bit. And that is where this warehouse comes in handy. One day, I might be able to have it. If you notice, I'm leaving an opening. Now, I might be a little off on how I'm doing this opening, but that opening will allow us to go to level 2. It also allows us to have more population. I mean, look at that, 4 more people. I mean, we're almost at every job being optimized. I mean, that means these people are only losing, they only have 2 less people than what they need. Just gotta be careful not to have too many people and not enough of everything else. See that community center? That's what I was talking about earlier. That's what I was leaving that hole for. Alright, so this says it's going to transport resources. Well, that's pretty cool if I could put it like about here. We're definitely going to have a production chain coming right about here. This is going to lower their ability to grow a little bit, slight amount. But it's going to allow me to transport everything over here. Or maybe I should put it in this corner where I can actually access things. I'll still be able to access wood, and I'll still be able to access over there, so that's not bad. There we go for that. Wouldn't mind building another one. And here's a community center. So, what a community center does is allow us to go to level 2. For everything. We wanted to put that where you could just reach here, hopefully. Don't know if it did, not too sure. So, it's looking like right now we're not really reaching anything because our employees are not there. We just don't have the employees, which is fine. We're going to be giving them employees right now. New settler upgrade. Okay. Woo woo. More settlers. So like I said, this thing will reach over, and you notice how it's just barely touching here. That's fine. That's why we left that spot open, so that way that community center, maybe down here a little further, will reach. Now this is where we got to be careful with. So let's see what this warehouse is holding. In transport, pending transport. Okay, so it's transporting and all. That's pretty cool. I don't know where things are being stored then. I'm not 100% on that. I would like to build another one of these. Somewhere around the greenhouse. But I mean, if I do that, it would cut that off. So if we do this at least, it'll keep it looking good. And I could probably still run some more gray tanks back here. I can. Okay, good. But what I'm saying is, you see how we can upgrade these buildings? You gotta be careful, because once you upgrade them, there's no going back. There is no going back. And you gotta keep fulfilling all these basic duties. Because this 3 out of 10, look, he has 80% consumption, 100% happiness. They're not gonna be happy when there's no consumption to have, you know what I mean? That means if we aren't having enough food or enough water, whatever it may be, they're going to get angry very quickly and they're going to revolt, and then that is when you have your population drop. So you definitely have to be careful upgrading these things. Upgrades are great and they're good. You just gotta make sure you keep up with them, because when the population goes up, they're going to want more water, they're going to want more food, they're going to want a lot more of everything. Alright, so now we just jumped about 1 population for all these, which is good. We got up, we're 10 population above our jobs, and that is kind of the teeting point you want to be at. Now this thing is the quarry. I can put this anywhere I want. It doesn't matter. Don't have to be in the mountains or something like sometimes it does. So the quarry produces us rock and everything. It's also great. I mean, it's a very, very used thing. Just like the bio crusher, it is very, very well used. So we'll put another bio crusher right there. I'm constantly looking at this water supply and this food supply. We are getting stone and all the other good necessities. Well, look at that, we can upgrade. Well, once we get to that. we can upgrade this thing. That's pretty cool. That being said, what we're going to end up doing is going for this Textile Farm. So this thing could be all the way in yonder. It doesn't have to be close to the city. It just has to be within the yellow. If you notice the little X's right here, that's your buildable area, and here is not buildable. So we're going to start off with something nice and easy, a little baby textile farm. And now that automatic harvest for your textile, it does create pollution. That's one thing we gotta watch out for, is our pollution levels as we are doing this. So I think 4 of these is a good start. If you notice, we're starting to get a little high on our jobs. That's fine. We're just going to get a little bit of the thing going just to get it going, which hopefully will help out with that high jobs, low population. See, now this is going down. That makes our population cut. Told you, gotta be careful with it. Always gotta be careful. We were expecting a small drop, and I was also expecting to put a few more houses down because of this. I like how these are sideways and these are all straight. It looks pretty cool to me. So there goes a little bit of population, which will allow us to go 62. With that happening, will allow us to generate the product that's needed for clothing, which will then entail, eventually fulfill this, will allow us to have 4 people in the house. Now we just dropped a whole bunch of houses. One thing we want to do is monitor the water and the food. If you notice, it's going up and down. It's pretty general. That's good. That's kind of what you want. You want to make sure it's all doing good for all this new population here. There we go. We're just unlocking more things. But our jobs and our population is just now becoming better. We still haven't fully secured our jobs versus population, so that is one thing we're going to want to do. By doing that, we're just going to build a few more. This thing should be making rock. Employment 9 out of 15, so our jobs are going up a little high again. Hopefully everybody is happy. We're all going up to 4 population here. Ooh, look like we did. It appears like we've already jumped our population over here. Now let's check out our water and food. They're still looking pretty good. Wait for transport, 10 production. So our max production is 10 a day, and our consumption still only like 2. This one is 20, and consumption's only 3. What about shirts? Made a day, 2, but consumption's almost at 1. So that is why you gotta watch out. I'm just trying to keep these inside of here so that way they can upgrade. All be upgraded from this guy. Now we can put another one down somewhere around here, and it will collect the remainder of the people that we do not have. We should step a little bit to the side, if you ask me. Well, right there collects everybody, so that's where we're going to put it. So we created more jobs, however, we have the population to sustain all the jobs that are current. Now, if we upgrade a few, we'll have a little bit more population. So, efficiency rating, building is not... You have to have slots. What is this? Building efficiency. So, what it's telling me is if I don't have enough workers to do the building, then it's not going to be as efficient. You know what I mean? And that makes sense. If I don't have the guys to be there, it makes sense for why, you know, why it wouldn't work so well. So we're up in all this population. We're going to check. Oh, cool. New buildings. That's awesome. We're going to be checking after this population spike how everything is. Even though we're unlocking all this stuff, we're still in the basics. We're still being, you know, concerned about our water level, which is almost at 4. We could just say it'll be 4 out of 10, which is still good. And this is almost 4 out of 20. Still good. Our mud water, we're producing 3. Maximum production is 7. It doesn't really say how much we're taking now, which is fine and all. We are not stacking on textile or fabric. The second that we make the fabric, it's boom, close. So we're not stacking at all on this. That means these guys are burning it up as fast as they can. So that's one thing we're going to look out for right now before it becomes an issue. We want that production to be higher. There we go. So now we should start to slowly stack on the fabric. After that, then we're going to be trying to work on stacking on the other thing. Just because this thing only makes 10 a day and it's consuming 1. It's not good. It's not bad, but it's not good. How are you doing for employment? You are happy as can be. We have lots of stone. So, this does create pollution, and it takes a little bit of our rocks away. However, I think it would be a great addition. Making us some tools which will increase our population. That is our next thing. Just making some tools. Bioreactor. Ah, okay, that's cool. And remember that mine we had earlier. That is where that mine goes. So, our jobs are increasing once again, as always. Our population hasn't really increased much. We kind of want to wait and see how this does. It looks like they're full in production. I think it's because of this job right here. That's why we fell a little bit under the wayside. But overall, it seems like we're doing pretty good on everything. That max production, though, that's a little close for the likes. And so with the same with everything else. Just gotta keep on watching. Keep on watching. I already know we're gonna have to mess with the water supply and add a little bit more sooner than later. But it never hurts to give us 3 more population for all those buildings. Now we're almost fully supplied on jobs. That means this guy right here can definitely make enough. His tools, he isn't really making many, is he? We have 10 people, and they make 2.5 tools a day. I don't understand why we're not making many tools. Still pretty good in water, because water is going to get us in a mess before anything else gets us in a mess. That is for sure. Without a doubt, water is going to be the thing that is our downfall so far. Clothes, we are still steadily above water. Still got our heads above water. Now, we're making enough fabric, but the textile, which should be the second process, yeah, they're not weaving it fast enough. So we'll put 2 of these down, and hopefully, I know it created a few more jobs, but hopefully it helps keep up on the clothes department. We want to see 9 for fabric and 9 for the textile. We definitely want to see 9 for those items. Pretty good if you ask me. I mean, with the dark water says that with having gray water tells me I can get more purifiers. It looks like it doesn't take anybody to collect gray water, which is pretty good. That's 0 population being put in for gray water. Harvest from the ground. Yeah, see? It's harvest from the ground. It only takes my people to process it. And purify it. What? What do you mean? You see that? That thing ain't gonna let me put what I want where I want it. There we go. Don't eat me. Definitely good in water. Tools look like they're still not being produced. I wonder why that is. So it takes wood. Oh. Well, I guess I understand why tools aren't being produced, because we don't have this. This thing right here allows us to collect resources. And it's like halfway into the mountain. Don't know how I feel about it being halfway into the mountain, but it is what it is. Bioreactors. It takes this and it makes those little baby crumples, which is what you need. Little baby crumple. So, if we look, it looks like our rock production is kind of fading a little bit. It's not fully their fault, we have so many jobs going on, not as much population. Not 100% their fault for that. And we're just going to be putting a little bit more houses down. If we look at water, it should have went up a little bit. We're now producing 15. It was at 10, so that we get 5 more a day. This is still at 20. This is still at 6. Almost 6 now, so that's pretty good. Mission control. Well, let's keep on expanding in our little place right here. If you notice our wood supply, it is all over the place. Maximum production, 33 a day. Wow. Now, if we're not at 9, that means that we're not producing as what we need. We're slowly invading that territory. And that does it for today's video. Don't forget to look into the next video of our Let's Play series and hit that like, subscribe button. Thank you.